We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to.
Welcome to the NBZ podcast.
Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was.
NBZ.
I just told you. That's who I think I am.
I'm a terrible person who's come to believe unforgivable things.
All right, I think this might be one of the last retro episodes. I have found a few others, but I'm not sure they're palatable to publish. But this last one I found is a full interview or podcast, whatever, with my buddy Scotty, which I think there was one earlier in the mix of. I don't know what it is about this guy. He just makes me laugh. Buckle up.
Oh, yes.
All right. So you worked where?
I worked at a sandwich shop. It's called Homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this fine bitch. She's like this redhead. She's like this red bone. Just big booty. Had these big voluptuous like breasts. And she had this like Mickey Mouse voice.
Okay. Was it annoying?
Like, it could be, but she was real sexy. So I mean, if she was ugly, it'd probably been like real annoying. But like it was just more sexy because she was like because she was like attractive. So it's like and, you know, it was like you hear her voice, you're like, oh, that's how you. So I remember I was gonna take her on our first date, and she smokes a ton of weed, and I don't have the strength to smoke that much weed. And I planned this whole picnic out. We're gonna go to Discovery Park. And,
Word.
yeah, I put in some work. I was like, I'm gonna hit this shit. Like I had a whole game plan out. I was like, then I'm gonna take it here. Gonna get the wine. Gonna come back to my place.
All right.
So she's like, oh, let's smoke it. So like, I pulled a trick out of one of my dating books. I got, what is it? Go back to your house. Pretend like you forgot something. Go back to your house to get it. But it was the plan. We weren't supposed to stay at the house.
That was just like
It's supposed to warm them up for your house. It's supposed to like make
I've been here before, so it's
it's
cool.
it's supposed to be like, oh, I know what this is like.
Some Jedi shit. All right.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, but I was like, let's leave. I'm just going to the picnic. She's like, oh, well, let's smoke a blunt first. So she rolls a blunt, and I hit it like 4 or 5 times. So I'm like KO'd. I was like, well, shit, I just can't leave the house now.
It's like, I save all that money on a picnic.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell am I going to do with these sandwiches? But I was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, oh, let me give you a massage. Just jump right into it. Just jump right into it.
Boom.
Gave her a massage. And she's like, oh, yeah. Is that all you want to do? I was like, oh, yeah. So it was a green light.
Boom.
Which should also be a sign.
It should
gives
be
it up
big
on
sign.
your first time.
You just got to my house.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, just got to this was easy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think dudes just accredited to the game they feel like they have.
Yeah,
like,
I
just
got
like,
that. Yeah,
"Man,
she just
I'm
came
like a
over.
boss." Yeah, no, when my dude first described it, he worked there before me. He was like, oh, this bitch, I can't even fuck with. She's so fine and this and that. So, like, it was like that for him. And so, he lives on the same floor as me. So I went there. I was like, yo, dog. I was like, yo, I got in there. She's at my crib right now. I did it, you know. He's excited like I had a fucking soccer goal or something. She was like, oh, but I was like, yo, don't tell nobody, you know. I was like, whatever you do, don't tell anybody, because you know, we all work at the same place.
Yeah.
Like, even low. I get the next day, his ass had told several people after he looked me in the eye and probably it like ruined my whole work environment when that shit went south like extra fast.
Oh,
like,
hey, as quickly as it went down.
Yeah,
it went down.
It went real down. It was like I had to switch jobs. Like that's how bad.
Damn.
Yeah, it was awkward, dog. It was like a lot of pressure. People thought we were dating, and then what was worse? My current girlfriend walked in like one of the days.
Oh, that was side slide.
Yeah. So I was like kind of side sliding both. I was like, oh, I'm playing the field.
Oh, you're not dating
I
anybody?
wasn't. No,
in your mind, you weren't dating anybody?
Oh, I wasn't. I was dating my like current girlfriend, but it wasn't like official. So you know, I was like, oh, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna go do whatever. You know, I'm sure she's doing whatever. But she brings her mom in to my job on the way to the ferry to go visit her brother who lives across the water. Wow. So I meet her mom at work. Wow. While the girl works at my job. So I was like, you gotta get the hell out of here. I was like, it's nice to meet your mom and everything. Gotta get up out of here. And she's like, everyone else seems cool. I was like, no, they're not. Nobody's cool. Gotta get the hell up out of here.
Wow.
And so no, it was a lot of but the whole point of my story is like my friend or Andrew, he was real upset about it. That thing actually ruined like my life at the time. It actually ruined my relationship. He's on some like sensitive, like some fairy tale shit. Like that shit hypothetically ruined his life. Like, I'm like, I don't got time for that shit.
Cares,
I'm
yeah.
like, nobody
Seriously.
cares about that shit. Ain't nobody hurt. Nobody cares about that shit. I've seen some real shit. So that's the thing. I mean, but in all, you just gotta be open to people's sensitivity.
Word.
You dig, so.
All right. So this is the NBZ podcast, and today my guest is Scotty Walker. That's not his real name, but that's what we're gonna call him.
Yeah, Skywalker.
Skywalker. It sounds like some Fast and Furious shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, Scotty works with me over at Buckley's, and I find him pretty interesting. He's a funny character, so we're just gonna sit down and chat, chill, tell some stories, because he got some funny stories. I kind of want to talk. The one that keeps popping into my head right now is Ohana and the photographic memory dude.
Oh yeah, no.
That dude's hilarious.
I was gonna listen to podcasts. I was so
I do this podcast. This is the first one I'm probably gonna put out, but nobody's gonna listen to this podcast besides my girlfriend who loves podcasts and maybe a few people who I don't know. We'll see. I'll put it out on Twitter.
This is Scotty P's first podcast.
Scotty Walker, but his pen name, whatever we call it, Scotty P.
Pen name, yeah.
Scotty P.
I don't write anything, but that'd be my pen name.
I don't even know what the hell pen name means.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, all right. So let's talk about
oh yeah, no, we
the
can
dude.
talk about it. Yeah, no. So and this is a lesson for everybody. I mean, this is not just my lesson. This is a life lesson for everybody.
True.
There's a time in your life where you gotta stand up for yourself, and you can't have people like punking you all the time. But
Scotty's like a chill dude. He's not very aggressive. He's nice, kind of easygoing.
Right. I'm not aggressive at all. That was actually the only confrontation I had in 2015. But it just so happened that I misread the situation. I stood up to someone I should have thought twice about standing up to. But long story short, I started working at this new job. It's a Hawaiian bar in Seattle. Ohana, you should all check it out. And I had this, in the first 45 minutes, I had this like young, black dude come in with this girl. And I was going to host him or seat him. And he looked at me and he's like, what's happening? And I was like, damn, dog, I'm going to sit your ass in a second. Like, I'm trying to let me find a seat. And he's like, don't I know you from somewhere? And I was like, nah, you guys don't know me. I was just tripping. Also, let me describe him for a second, This dude, he got this real crazy look in his eye. And he has 8 tears. Swear to God, 8 tears on his face. Yeah, tattooed tears on his face. He wasn't crying. Yeah. And he had 4 on each side. I don't know what that means on the streets. But as far as a professional job sense, it's not the good move to go.
It's not a good look.
It's not a corporate American look right there. So, like, he's made some real rough decisions about his life choices. So that's what I got from the initial appearance of him. But
accurate.
So he orders some food, and I deliver the food to him. He's like, nah, I swear I know you, right? And I was like, what? And
who's he with? Just him or is
him and his girl? So
okay.
His girl looks over, and I have this like one of those like that's so Raven flashbacks or flash forwards, whatever, bitch. But I was like, oh, it all came together for me.
because you recognize the girl.
Yeah. I was at this club like 6 to 7 months ago, and I do this thing at the club. It's one of my moves. I talk to everyone in the club. Because I learned to increase my chances of taking pussy home.
If you just talk to everybody.
If you talk to everyone, see, it's my sales technique. If you only talk to one person, you don't sell nothing.
It's a game of numbers.
Yeah, right. It's a game of numbers. That's life. It's life right there.
True.
So I go around telling dudes they look fly, telling girls that ask them if they're having fun, high fiving dudes.
Just saying what's up.
You're saying what's up. Just working.
Just working the room.
I seen this girl by herself. Walked over, was like, "Hey, how you doing? You having fun?" I kind of danced next to her for a second. You know, nothing too engaging. I got to keep it moving. I got a lot of people to talk to. So I go to the bar across the street, right? And mind you, I did some yayo that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's not me.
All right.
That's not me. But on a special occasion, I like to feel myself. And you know,
Literally.
you know, in a different way. So I go over to the bar and across the street, and we're out grabbing a cigarette in the back room. So he just happens to come in, this dude with the 8 tears, and he's like, oh man, he's like, I heard you was trying to hit on my girl.
So you had left the bar you were at.
I left the club I was at.
Club you were at and went to the bar.
Went to the bar. So I see her at the bar. I've already forgotten about it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not even
so now
thinking.
they're together at the bar.
They're together, but they weren't together at the club,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He
yeah.
comes over and he's like, hey, I heard you was trying to holler at my girl. He's like, on some disrespectful shit or something like that. You know, I was like, what are you talking about, dog?
Yeah.
You know, and
You've never seen this dude before. Ever.
right? I had seen him before. I see him, and he always carries himself real aggressive.
Okay.
And so he said something to me already unfavorably in the past.
Oh.
And I had this bad aftertaste about him already.
Right,
When I
right.
seen him that second time.
Okay.
So I was already on like DEFCON 1 when he like, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, you can punk me once, and that's my fault.
Fool me once.
Yeah, you can punk me once. You punk me twice, and I'm a bitch. And that's just, you know, that's like, it's like, I already felt insulted. So I was already on DEFCON 1. He came at me. And he's like, yeah, but this is the line right here, people. America, this is the line right here. He said, I was like, nah, I ain't having you go. He's like, oh, so you calling her a liar? What am I supposed to say, America?
Okay, hold on, time out, pause. So he says, nah, I didn't hit on your girl, and then the guy says, so you're calling my girl a liar?
Right. What the fuck am I supposed to say? Yes. Yes.
It's like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Why are you always lying?
Why you always lying?
Yeah, I was like-
Why you always lying?
And I looked at her, and she had this like devilish look on her face, like she just
like, yeah,
she'd been doing this before, like she just trying to start shit.
Watch this shit.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, watch my dude get at you. Here he is, right here.
For the price of admission, folks, you can see this ass whipping coming out.
Yeah. So she was, and but I hit that level. It hit a chord in me, like a chord that's not there usually. But I was like, I went from DEFCON 1 to DEFCON like 5 or 6, wherever people go to war.
That was because of the yayo?
I was like, it probably was because of the yayo. I felt like it was my manhood stepping up.
All right.
But also probably cocaine.
Okay.
It's a hell of a drug, people. I was like, what you trying to say, homie? I step up, and I get up out of my seat, and I'm like, what you trying to say? No, I ain't telling you, girl. I just told you that. And so I got on his face. I was like, what? I was like, what you trying to do, huh? I was like, so I get like, I haven't fought anyone that whole year.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't fought anyone the past 3 years.
Okay.
So my homies I was with, they're real chill dudes, but occasionally they trip out. They drink too much and they get kind of rowdy, right? And I'm not that kind at all. I'm like the least likely
to freak out.
You know, in a lineup, I'm least likely to have done any of the crimes associated. And so my dude looks at me, he's like, hey dog, chill. Because in my mind, I had wiped all those tears off his face. I seen a real average looking dude.
I could take this dude.
I was like, I can take this motherfucker, right? Now, like, he shot like 8 people and no shit like that.
You miss. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, I was like, so you know, I see him at my new job. And all this shit. All this
Wait,
fight.
so what happened there at that moment after you stepped up? I'm like, yo, fuck you. I didn't say
So he was like, he looked at me and he was like, all right, chill. he gave us like hella crazy. He's like, chill, homie. He's like, okay. I see. I was just wondering.
Oh, really? He backed down?
Oh yeah, he backed down, and I felt like a boss too. I was like, yeah. I was over there. Buy me another Rainier and shit. I was like, yeah, what?
Wow.
So I see him like, yeah, he backs down, and him and his girl leave. And I'm still talking about it, you know. I'm still talking about it. I was like, and they ain't gonna come up to me, reenact that shit like that. Like everybody just didn't see it.
See exactly what happened in your story is like 10 times worse.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. And now I punked this bitch. So
now you're in the restaurant.
yeah, I'm at the restaurant. And he's like, yeah. So So what I did as a man, I felt like I was wrong. Not because I thought he was wrong initially because he stepped at me wrong. That's just not how you open a conversation. And you also don't give.
You're talking very rationally to someone who's clearly irrational.
Right. And you don't give leading questions to people. You don't be like, oh, yeah, you called my girl a liar.
Pretty sure you know what a leading question is.
Yeah, that's an escalating question. Like, what am I supposed to say? I'm like, maybe. Maybe she's a liar. I don't know.
Anyway.
But,
okay.
So the thing is, so he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I thought that was you. I'm glad you apologized because I was about to grease your ass. And I was like, yeah, cool. Set his food down. And I went to the bathroom and I got on like Urban Dictionary. I had to look up grease because I was like, what is grease? I was like, I understand it's not a positive thing he said he was gonna do. And it was like to shoot someone multiple times till they're dead, and I was like, oh, okay. And the gravity of the situation hit me. He's like, I had my burner on me right then, cuz I was about to stand outside, wait for your ass, but my girl talked me out of it. He's like, so apologize to her. And I was like, damn, dog, yes, it's tripping. I was about to flip out again.
One motherfucker.
Yeah. But my friend who's the bartender, he spent the additional 3 hours trying to convince me never to mess with that dude again. And I could tell how bitch made my friend was acting around of how uncomfortable he really was.
How bitch made.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, my dude's on all types of drugs, all types of happy pills. His ass is unstable. That's not the motherfucker you want to mess with. He spent last summer in the bathrobe, going
wow
with a Glock in a bathrobe. That's how he was walking around last summer. He's not the kind of dude you want to mess with. Outside, dog, flip flops.
And like just underwear?
Yeah.
In a bathroom.
Right, in the Glock. Wow. Yeah, my dude was serious. I was like,
where do you carry a Glock in the pocket?
That's creative, dog.
Holy.
I don't know. He's experienced. You don't get several tears for nothing. You might get 1 to 2 tears, like, just randomly. By that 8th tear, you done mastered some shit. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think people need to understand. You should stand up for yourself, but you should read situations. I got away, grace of God, in that situation, but I don't recommend that at all. Like if I was in Chicago, I'd be like, no, I'm not calling you girl. This is a miscommunication.
I don't know you, son.
Yeah, I don't know you. Yeah, so things happen like that all the time. I'm just unlucky in some areas of my life.
It seems that way, sir.
It is.
All right. So how old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
How old are you?
35.
You 35?
Yeah.
Damn, dog.
Old motherfucker.
You lying?
No, I'm not lying. I am 35.
Man, undercover. No.
Exactly.
Oh, chill.
Scotty, you arrest from no. Name's not even Scotty. What's your real name?
Don't worry about it.
All right. Yeah, I forgot. We don't talk about.
I'm in
witness protection.
Yeah, I'm in witness protection.
He's like, I got my other tier removed.
Yeah,
I wanted to get a job.
Yeah, let some shit blow over next year. So
he's kidding.
Nah, no.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, look, I see you. Little greyhound over here.
Word.
What's your dog's name?
That's Bella.
Oh, Bella. Oh, she's a little cutie.
Yeah,
I like
Bella.
that.
And then the other dude over there who's over there sleeping is Andre.
Andre, okay.
Yeah.
Like named after Mac Dre?
I don't even know how Andre got his name. Let's ask Christy.
Okay, yeah. That Thizzle. I just like to think
Dre.
Think style. Love me some Mac Dre.
Thug.
Yeah, for sure. But you just came from
Yeah, I just got back from Nicaragua.
Right.
Hold on one second.
Bell, come here. Get down. And I went to Nicaragua in January, so
yeah.
I mean, as 2 African American men, I just think it's
but my experience was way different. I didn't really go to Nicaragua.
Okay.
I went kind of through Nicaragua.
You did go through it. So you landed in Managua, right?
Landed in Managua, and then we went from Managua to Big Corn Island. And then we went from Big Corn Island by boat to Little Corn Island.
So you didn't leave the airport in Managua?
Nah. Yeah, we left. We stayed overnight at some hotel.
Oh, okay.
Casino or something like that. And then like we really didn't go around Managua at all. So I didn't see any of Managua. We just kind of went there and left.
Oh, chill.
So like, I really like the majority of my time in Nicaragua was spent on a deserted island with 11 other people doing yoga, eating raw food, and organic. It was great. It was unbelievable. Strictly because the food was amazing. It was kind of life changing. You didn't realize how much shit you eat. I'm very sugar addicted, and I didn't have any I had no Starbucks, no crazy sugars all week. The only sugar I had was from fruit. So we would wake up in the morning early, have some fruit, then we'd do yoga, come back, have like a small breakfast, and then we'd have like this I wouldn't say motivational talk, but this guy's like a life coach. He wrote a few books. The guy's name is Howard Falco.
Wow.
Yeah, he was author of I Am and Time in a Bottle. And we did some things, everybody had some things they need to get rid of or kind of work through. And everybody during that week kind of talked it out and worked through it. And it was a very transformative week physically because the food was great, and then mentally also because you're kind of just, expunging your brain of the blockages you've had in the past.
Oh, okay.
It was tight. Real tight.
Chill. So that's crazy, man. Yeah, you're right. I think we had a different experience.
Yeah, what was your experience like?
My experience was gritty.
It's gritty.
Yeah, I stepped off the airplane. It was humid. I was uncomfortable.
I was just looking at my map just now. I didn't realize how close to the equator Nicaragua is.
It is.
It's very close to the equator.
It's very close. It's like I feel like someone told me that. No, I'm like, I think that was Brazil. I was making up.
They're both very close to the equator.
Making up South.
Nicaragua's closer than Brazil.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So no, I went there and I landed. First, did you see all those taxi drivers outside the door?
There's
that shit was uncomfortable.
There's a lot. They're all like aggressively.
Yeah,
like,
they're
hey,
aggressive.
Hey, taxi.
They're aggressive taxi people.
All they really know how to say is taxi, and the rest of it.
Everything watch this motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
Get his ass in this taxi.
Get that 20.
No, so I read a bunch of, me, I'm paranoid naturally. I'm just like, I smoked a lot of weed in high school. They really altered the level of paranoia I had. So I did a lot of research. And then whatever you do, watch the taxi drivers. So they might kidnap your ass.
Really?
Yeah, so I was read all this stuff. So I was already paranoid. We already pre-did our taxi. It's funny. Our taxi driver was the heaviest looking dude. And there's 50 skinny dudes on the taxi side. There's one big ass dude with my name and my girl's name on it.
Okay. So you had like a placard with your.
Yeah. So I was like, whew, cool. I trust fat people for some reason.
Why?
I don't know why. I feel like they can't run as fast. Like the chances of them getting me and left. Like if anything, if I had to escape the situation, I feel like I trust him more than I trust like a NFL running back.
Somebody who can run real fast and grab you.
Right. I was like, fluffy. I associate fluffiness with safety. I'm like,
okay.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, not at all.
I don't know. I feel like some heavy set women are just nicer than skinnier women.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Preference.
This might be wrong. This might be just a generalization.
I think it's just preference for you. Keep going.
Preference.
Yeah, I think it's just your preference. Big booties and big breasts.
I do like voluptuous women, but I trust overweight women. It's definitely like a kind of personal thing, but. My whole experience in Nicaragua pretty much was like it was real. It was real. It was like going to Anaheim to go to Disneyland, but then realizing it was just like a bunch of Mexicans everywhere doing all this hard work.
You thought it was gonna be Disneyland?
No, I thought it was. I didn't think it was gonna be Disneyland. I realized it was like Disneyland, and the illusion that at these vacation spots it was all good and great. But just you hit a couple blocks the wrong way.
It's like real.
It looks like the jungle. It's
it is the jungle.
It is the jungle. So it's like no electricity. They got all these huts.
Were you in like a resort?
I wasn't in a resort. I went to their famous tourist town. So
okay.
So it was like less. Everything was friendly and cool. Yeah. But it's like shit really goes down.
Down in the DMs for sure.
But the worst part is I'm already paranoid. So we're in the taxi drive to the city, the major city, Granada, from Managua, and My dude's like, he's like, if the cops pull us over, act cool.
The heavyset guy.
The driver, he's like, act cool. They might ask me for a couple dollars. I'll pay them, and then they'll just get on their way. It's just like a road tax. It's like, I was like, what?
What?
And he's like,
the cops are getting paid.
The cops. He's like, yeah, they'll, he's like, just give them a couple dollars and they'll leave.
He told you to give him, or he's gonna give him?
He was gonna give him because I already paid his house like $100. Like, you better cover that shit.
Okay.
I'm not paying for that. But it's a trip. He gives a bunch of stories, and he kept saying this thing. He's like, yeah, you gotta watch out for Nikas because he's like, yeah, they'll
For who? Say it again.
He's like the Nikas.
Nikas.
So it took me a minute to realize he wasn't saying niggas because I was like insulted. I was like, damn, homie. I was like, I don't know you like that. You feel uncomfortable just saying like yeah, my Nikas. I was like, what?
My Nika.
Right. So the worst part is we get to the spot, our first spot in Grenada, and my dude is like, niggas are like dogs. He's like, niggas are this and that. And I was like, damn, homie. Yeah, there's so much racism.
Yeah.
From like people that moved to Nicaragua.
Right.
People that he was Italian, so he was like,
oh, so the Nikas are a gang?
no, they're just the Nicaraguan people. So he's like, the Nicaraguan people are like this. He's like, don't trust the women, man.
Native people.
He's like, don't trust the women. They'll do this or this. They'll set you up. Say you rape them. They'll get you. So it was like my first two people I ran into. They painted this horrible picture of my experience. I was extra paranoid.
Yeah.
But we go to the bar and see a couple people. It was beautiful. I'm not gonna say Nicaragua was bad at all. It was one of the most beautiful places I went.
I concur.
It definitely just has this, has this other element, that is real. Just like the people in the Disneyland suits is like, ass is hot, waiting for their break and shit.
Yeah.
Tired of talking like Donald Duck and shit. So it's like people at the restaurants, all this, the real people. They're just people, and so they act all this way, but you know how they feel, But the trip part is seeing so many retired white people just casually strolling down the street.
I heard that. I never left my little compound or whatever. We were in a resort, but I heard people who went to the bar. There were like a ton of expats just hanging out drinking beers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's what they do. They just retire there. They're just strolling down the street, and they live permanently in Disneyland. So they just never acknowledge the pain and suffering. In the outside. Like, this is great. Everything's so cheap. I got maids. She comes by like once a day and
it's probably saved up like a couple $100,000.
Right. And they can live the rest of their life like that.
Yeah.
I was I ate on their main street, and me and my girl. It's like there's stray dogs coming up to you every. The motherfucking Maracha players like, nigga, no, I don't want to listen. You gotta you go from, I'm a nice guy, so you go from like, oh yeah, no thanks. Yeah, no thanks. But you get interrupted like 12 times in like 30 minutes trying to eat this like fucking whatever fish, tilapia, whatever you're trying to eat. Yeah, I was gonna flip out. I'm like, get the hell away from me! I'm tired of this shit. I know next time I'm just pay one dude $10 to make sure people don't bother me.
Don't play anything else. Just stand here and making sure nobody comes and talks to me.
Get away from me. Throw some dogs some treats and shit. Make sure nobody comes at me. And no, it's cool, man. I seen some real good kids. The kids are hustling. They're like 8.
Yeah.
They're just on the street. They're out at like 1 o'clock in the morning selling nuts, asking you for money. Yeah, they're just selling. So it was real. It's like you get that experience.
Is that a code word for drugs or just real nuts?
No, they're just like peanuts.
Right.
And apparently they say the parents send them out to work, and then they bring, because they know kids sell more. So
yeah.
They're just kind of playing on the tourist emotions, things like that. So my experience was cool, man. Some of the crazy shit was the chicken bus.
What's the chicken bus?
Chicken bus is just like they sell old school buses to these countries, and they're just like their public transit center. So they just ride like school buses from town to town.
So like
you pay like you're familiar with their money, 10 Cordobas.
I didn't take any of that shit on. I was like, here's the 20. Don't give me any change. We're good.
Word.
Keep moving. Yeah, I didn't want any of their money.
Oh, I got hell yeah. My ass needed to haggle. I was like, I'm poor in America, my man.
Yeah, but no, but the prices were cheap for sure. You can get like I think 2 beers for like $5.
Oh, for sure. My ass is still haggling. I was like, you say $5.
What does it
I'm
really
only
cost?
paying $1 for this shit. I was up in cabs. I get out of 2 or 3 cabs before I finally got the price I wanted.
Really?
Hell yeah. Because when you find out how much the Nicaraguans are paying for cabs and then how much they're trying to pay me, it's like you just feel like a sucker. I'm like, no, hell no. I'm not paying. That bitch only paid 10 Cordovas. I'm not paying 37 like, from here to here.
That's true, yeah.
I was like, I know how much you pay rent, homie. You ain't getting me on that shit. Yeah, so it was cool. The chicken busters is what you got I'm not even playing, like 60 people
On a school bus?
on a school bus.
That's like, there's like, what, 30 seats on there or something?
Something like that.
That's crazy.
If that, you have probably more people than that. You have people filled up the whole aisles.
And people are
You have people in the seat. My girl sat on my lap.
Wow.
The coldest thing, they don't stop the bus.
What do you mean you don't stop the bus?
They don't stop. They slow down for people
Shut
to get.
up. So if you know that you're coming up on your stop, you have to wiggle your way up to the front.
Yeah, so no, you gotta run to the back door and hop on.
What?
I'm not even playing.
Oh
dog.
my
I sat in
God.
the back seat. Oh, this motherfucker gonna stop. His ass is. The people just jogging, slowly running up on the back of the bus
To jump in?
as they slow down to jump in.
Oh my God. He can't afford to stop? What the?
I don't know what it is, dog. But they're hustling. They're trying to get on people on the bus, like they're trying to sell tickets or something.
How someone just jumps on the bus? How does the bus driver get fare?
Someone keeps going around. There's like that 5 people working on the bus. One people to help
constantly,
them like get on. They got paid the driver. They got someone who collects money, and so it works like that, man. It's just a crazy system. But the different experience between me and you, probably the biggest thing is that I did not enjoy the food there. That shit was not fresh. Do not go to a motherfucking 3 a.m. taco stand in Nicaragua. That is
You shouldn't go to a 3 a.m. taco stand anywhere.
anywhere
ever.
Especially when they don't got a motherfucking federal health department to regulate food and shit.
This motherfucker wants to haggle on money? All right. We'll show that motherfucker what haggling is all
I
about.
was like, this shit ain't even beef, is it? This is a motherfucking
So what happened?
pigeon. Oh, so I was in there. You heard the city. What's that? San Juan del Sur.
Okay.
I recommend it too. It's next time you go down there. It's a beautiful city. They got one of those Brazilian Jesus statues.
Okay.
Like a little smaller version of that. It's this huge cove. I know a lot of cruises stop in there. It's cool. That's kind of the party scene. All the young people go there to kick it.
Word.
And it's just a fast city. It's a young, fast city. So we were there, and the first night was cool. We ate at that taco stand. I woke up in the morning, and I was like, oh, I'm not feeling well. So I run to the bathroom, and I'm like, releasing all this extra stuff in my body. And my girlfriend's like, move over. So we were like,
Time out. Pause.
oh,
So you are releasing things through your orally?
both.
And hold on a second. When did she actually move over? When you're throwing up or when you're...
Oh man, we were just taking turns.
Oh.
It was bad. It was
Wow.
bad. We're in this. Oh man, they had the worst part about that motherfucking hotel room. They had one of those like.
You must be really close with your girlfriend.
Oh, not that close.
Now you must be really close because if you can go tit for tat on excavating.
Yeah, the worst thing is that the head of the bed is like facing it's like on the side of the toilet. So if you are laying like vertically, you like look over, you like looking into the bathroom. So we make eye contact. Shit.
They no door?
Oh, they had a door, but it's too hot. It's too small in the bathroom to feel, So you feel real tight and claustrophobic.
So you leave the door open while you're doing your...
Yeah, so it was grimy.
Pause. Oh my God. Hold on a second. There's no way with any ex-girlfriend I've ever had, I don't give a fuck how hot it was, that it would be okay for me to puke or shit with the door open. How long have you been with your girlfriend?
Oh shit, like 2 years. It was
2 years is a decent amount of time, but God,
I needed quick access.
so you took a jump with the door open.
Yeah, cause it wasn't time for me. We had to get in and out. It wasn't like I don't got time to have doors open and shut in this bitch. I need to get in. You gotta get out. I gotta get in. That
is insane.
The worst part is we're in this hot ass 95-degree room with like the small ass fan.
No AC.
We were supposed to leave, so we just cheaped out that night because we got in the city at nighttime, so we were gonna leave the next day. But I was too sick to leave.
So you have to pay for another day.
So we stayed there the next day. We were trying to gather ourselves together to leave, and I was just like, we couldn't do it, couldn't move. It's just like we were dehydrated and hot. Like,
damn.
So it was rough. It was rough. We spent the whole day napping in the city and like just waking up, puking. And, so it was bad. It was bad. So the worst thing, they had one of those strong smelling porta potty thing. Yeah. You know those things that are in the men's like urinals.
Blue dot thing.
Well, the big ass blue dot thing is funking up the whole fucking place. It wasn't even in the bathroom.
Where was
it? It was like on the wall. Like,
outside?
It was just like an air freshener. I was like, y'all think this is fresh? This shit's gross. Like, I had to set it outside and shit. Set outside of the room.
Oh my god!
I was just sitting there drinking ginger ale and beer, hot ass beer. No, it was rough, man. And I think that dampened my experience of the whole country. I know it sounds bad.
No, it sounds horrible, and I can see how that could dampen your experience.
Hell
for sure.
Yeah! And you don't know what the culprit was. It could have been the mahi I had the day before. Could have been that 3 a.m. taco stand.
3 a.m. taco sounds like the culprit.
It could have been, man. It could have been, but overall, my experience was good. You know, it's just real. Like, the world's real.
The world is real.
I'm from Seattle, so I was telling some dude today. He was like, Seattle's just so kind. It's like the pinnacle, one of the nicest, most welcoming, most liberal places I've been. As far as
it's two sides, man.
And there is two sides, but as far as being in Seattle, like, everything else to me is a couple grades down. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
It's like, to go, like, the way people were treating me in St. Louis was like, okay, and how St. Louis was as an environment was not
as welcoming as
not as appealing to me as Seattle is. You know,
I guess I got lucky. I don't know. New York. So I'm born and raised on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever been to New York?
I haven't.
Oh, so then you I guess you could say you've been to California, San Francisco.
I've been to San Fran. Yeah. I've been to Anaheim.
And you think
San
those places
Diego
are a notch lower than Seattle?
As far as like the environment, like how my access to like parks, the kind of like
cityscape,
the interaction I get with people, and like it's like everything's close together, everything is gorgeous. Right. There's not too much smog. There's not too much.
Oh yeah, if you're talking about that, Seattle is definitely in the top tier by far.
Right, and as far as environment, being here and then going anywhere else, like St. Louis looked like a wasteland to me.
It was horrible.
I was like, are they in the middle of construction or some shit?
There's no downtown St. Louis is a horrible place.
It looks like what Seattle looks like now when they're tearing down all the buildings, but it's like they just quit halfway through the job and shit.
Crazy.
It's like, oh, you ain't got money to finish construction. We just gonna leave it torn down. So
so I've been to St. Louis. That place is not the greatest place in the world. But as far as pinnacle, I would say New York is the pinnacle.
Oh, of what?
Of a city, place to stay, people, responsiveness, like community, diversity, like everything, every kind of quality you want to like put out there. I'm telling you, if you spend some quality time, you can't just go and visit unless you go and visit for like a week and you have like somebody that lives there that's going to show you around and like, do stuff. But if you get some real time in New York, you'll realize that New York is the best place to be. But it's extremely expensive, and there's always a tier that you're gonna want to climb to the next to get up. If you have that kind of economic ladder climbing ability, it's that kind of place where it's always keeping up with the Joneses type stuff.
Oh, I see.
If you're a person that is kind of not that way, I guess. Some people are just stable. They're like, I don't need that. I'm cool. These are my friends. These are my things. This is what I do. I love. I'm happy. But anyway, Seattle's a dope place. That's why I think I got lucky when I moved here. When I picked the place to move here, I used to work for Anheuser-Busch. That's why I spent some time in St. Louis. But by moving out to Seattle, I think I lucked out. This place is pretty dope. A lot of water, a lot of air, a lot of trees, close mountains to hike or ski or do whatever. Get outdoors.
For real. So I'm an easygoing person. So it's like, as far as that goes, going to other cities, like I'm registered to people how easygoing they are. Seattleites recognize each other because we're like
Super chill.
Someone's yelling too loud. We're like, that person's tripping. He needs to calm down here. I was like, my dude from I was telling a story earlier. It's like my dude from LA. He came to pick me up from work. And he parked on the corner, on the the left hand turn lane, kind of off to the side. And this lady got out of her car and she's like, "Hey, you can't park there." He was like, "Shut up, bitch! Get back in the car." So he's a white dude, he's a skinny white dude. He's cool to me, he's cool. I was like, so her husband gets out of the car. He was like, "Hey, young man, you can't talk to my wife like that." He's like, "What are you gonna do?" Wait, and I kid you not. The guy's like, he's like, "Nothing, but you're gonna have to live with that."
Quote.
And as I get in the car, he tells me the story. He's right. I am gonna have to live with it. Oh man, those people from LA, dog, they're crazy. He told me that story. Then drove me to my house, right, where we were kicking it for a minute, and on the way to the drive, someone was driving too slow in front of him. He gets on the right lane next to him. He gives him the double finger. He was like, "Fuck you!"
Oh my God.
I was like,
"What?"
I was like, "Motherfucker's getting a shot, dog."
That is insane.
It is.
What's wrong with him?
No, he's not the first person from LA I've seen drive like it. My other dude flashed the gun at some dude. I'm not even playing.
How are your people coming up to Seattle with burners and cars and aggression and all that?
Yeah, and they're the chill dudes. So I'm real concerned about the real hardcore LA people. These dudes are just casual dudes. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what came over me. I just
wow.
I felt some kind of way about that." But
that's wild.
And so that's how I register people. It's how they do, how easygoing they are on the spectrum. So as far as Seattle goes, there's very little violence. And I could tell people who are tripping that they're not from Seattle, because you could just tell. This is Seattle. You make them real uncomfortable.
You would totally make people. I moved here from the East Coast. I actually moved here from Boston, but the East Coast aggressiveness of getting things done and this space of talking and kind of, it's easy to infiltrate someone's personal space in Seattle because there's a buffer, I guess, a conversational buffer that's a little bit bigger than it is on the East Coast. So if you just come a little closer, I'm talking I was in sales in Anheuser-Busch and I was talking to people about programs, whatever things I wanted to do, and I noticed that if I just close the gap just by a few centimeters, hey, people will just fold. They'll give me whatever I want.
Like here.
Yeah. Just being, I'm not being overly aggressive with my speak or my tone or whatever, but just talking, asking for something, and coming in a little too closer than people normally like. People are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that program. Let's do it." There's no fighting. There's no "Hey, no, I don't know. I'm not sure." It's okay, cards down. Because they're people are very passive out here.
They are passive.
That's super passive.
And as soon as you leave, I don't like that guy.
Yeah, right? Exactly. They love to talk behind your back.
He's a little aggressive.
That's one thing.
He made me feel real. I felt like he was gonna attack me. I'm just saying.
The black man with dreads.
The guy with dreads. Yeah. That white dude with the shaved head. You fit any stereotype.
Exactly.
You got too many tattoos.
Anything.
If you fit any kind of stereotype, you make us feel real uncomfortable. We'll never tell you, "Hey, buddy."
No, yeah. Never tell you to your face. Always but I don't really. I've noticed. Not noticed, but I've learned to just not care about that anymore.
Right.
Just keep it moving.
And I try to. I'm from Seattle, but I for some reason my family is an anomaly. At least my mom is. My dad's from St. Louis, so he has this kind of different approach to people. Mm-hmm. But my mother is she's kind of in your face. You seen Cat Williams do that thing where he was in the Benny Siegel concert, mm-hmm. and he jumped on that dude. Yeah. My mom's that person. She's that little person to flip out and jump on someone
That's
super one somebody. And she's "Oh, bitch, I can't believe." My mom's like that. So I was
Wow.
So they be at school and want me to call your mom. I'm like, hell no, don't call my mom. Like,
trust me, you don't want that
do
problem.
that to me.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, right. So I kind of have this attitude. I'm more direct. I'm like, well, you tripping? What? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? You know, I'm not violent, but I like to put things there. It's like, you don't like me? What's up? Like,
yeah.
Why is that? Like, what have I done? Or what? You know, I don't like the way you're doing that. You know. So I think that's this is an anomaly, but I'm also overly friendly as well. I'm just not as friendly as the next Seattleite, and my friendliness is just weird to people because I'm like, you're a person, I'm a person. It's like you eat, drink, maybe you smoke, maybe you don't, but it's all good. We're all human, you know.
Exactly.
It's like I welcome you in. Someone's got to welcome you in. Someone's got to love you and like support you. So that's just the person I am.
It's cool.
People I interact with, they're just, oh no, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable with people, other humans that I've never met before. I'm like, how are you supposed to meet someone? Like, I don't know how I'm gonna meet a new person.
That's the way Seattle is, though.
Seattle's
like, I don't need like no new friends. # Seattle.
Exactly. I don't need no new friends, even if I'm lonely.
Yeah.
Nigga doesn't need new friends.
# Seattle, right there.
I need more sim characters. I need World of Warcraft. Or,
back into my little hole.
Exactly. And I think a lot more people here are depressed or suffering.
Totally.
Emotional things versus our sisters, brother states, Cali and Portland.
People are more friendly, man. I don't know what I think. Honestly, I think it's like a resonant frequency of the earth in this spot because everybody, California, very vibrant. People are like, "Oh, what's up, homie?" Everybody's like friendly, even though people are very aggressive in California and LA in different ways, but they're friendly. And the Pac Northwest, I don't know what it is. Just low energy, a lot of suicides.
Is it a lot of suicides? Yeah. That's rough, man. I just can't imagine suicide. I feel bad that I've never thought about it. I think it makes me kind of narcissistic.
You would never think of
I don't know. I've never even thought about it. I was like, that was an option for you guys? You were like, I'll just end it all. I think I've been trying to stay alive so long. Like, I'm so paranoid about getting killed. Like, I've been doing my best to stay alive.
I would never want to kill myself.
I would never want to kill myself. It was hard enough.
So you never get sad? You never get, like, down?
I get sad. I'm just an optimistic person. I'm like, oh, well, things will get better.
They always do.
And I'm like one of those people, and it definitely helps me to understand that my glass is half full.
Word.
Where I know that, like, in some countries, people don't even have glasses.
I know.
They don't have glasses at all. Like, my dude, I was reading a story about North Korea. He was like, I knew South Korea was doing well because this homeless dude had a pen. And he was like, they can afford pens? Like, they got...
The homeless dude had a pen. That was his barometer.
He had a sign. They have pens.
Wow.
Like, that was his standard of wealth.
I never even would think about it that way.
Exactly. He was like, I knew my country was lying. That motherfucker got a cup and some pens, you know? Like,
that's crazy.
So for me, it's like, it's so strange that people in third world countries are generally happier. Because what humans we find is what we really need is just social connection and deep connection and interaction with people.
That's all it is.
But we're so busy paper chasing. We're so busy trying to, be on the top of the world. And we all have to find out for ourselves that money doesn't give us happiness. No. But we're all pretty adamant about
trying to get paper. Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to find out if this makes us happy or not. And you see tons of like Robin Williams committed suicide.
Rich people are like that. This, and you hear so many interviews. Nah, this more money, more problems.
Right.
But that's not a really good example. But a lot of rich people that get really rich end up not being happy because they're just chasing.
I think you're even more sad when you hit a pinnacle of wealth and you're still not happy.
That's what happens often.
Because that's way worse than being poor and not knowing.
Totally.
Like, at least you have a dream. At least if you're poor, you have a dream thinking that money will make you happy. You're still striving for something. But when you're rich,
you already got there.
You already hit.
You already got there and you're like, this sucks.
Hey, like, I've slept with all the bitches. I've slept with this.
I did it all.
I traveled. I've done this.
Still unhappy.
I feel empty inside. And that's I think that's something America has a lot more of. It's like, because we're always paper chasing and it isolates us more. We're like, oh, I gotta
hoard. Get away. Stop.
Get away. I was watching this Tupac video talking about Trump. He said the same thing. He's like,
yeah.
Like, it's a problem with Americans. You seen that one too?
Yeah. And old MTV.
He's like,
yo, give me. And
get away,
stay away.
That's exactly what it is.
That is everybody. Yo, it's like, it's my money. It's like, nah, man. All you just love somebody, it's hard. It's a very, very hard concept to be like, I'm just gonna love this person regardless because they're a human and they deserve some love.
Right.
It's extremely hard, and I find myself struggling with it all the time. When bums ask for money, I'm like, nah, homie, I don't got anything. Knowing damn well I got money in my pocket.
I got hella money. Get away from me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to give you money, even though. But even Tupac in that same interview said, "Yo, here's money, take it. Even you can smoke it up, do whatever you want, but you need to have because it's stupid that people like Bill Gates and Ballmer and all these people have billions of dollars in yachts and shit, and then there's people starving. That's insane as a human race that we have that happening on this planet.
Right. And we're talking about. There's a show called like Super Rich or something. Mm-hmm. It was actually playing at the bar yesterday.
Just on TV.
Yeah, it was on TV, and it was a show about billionaires and how much.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
It's like, oh, this house is $38 million in tuxedos. They're driving in, and it's like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, it's like I feel homeless compared to that shit. It's like I have a home, but it's like
I don't have that.
I don't even have a fraction of that.
Yeah, but do you need it though?
And I don't need it. You know, I feel like I'd be uncomfortable in a house that big with just me in there.
True.
Like it takes up like 2 blocks. I couldn't even like, where's the remote, honey? Where is any of the remotes? All 10 of them are missing. They could be on the other side of the building, but I'm not trying to go over there. Some of them, they're driving golf carts in their house to get to other parts of the house, and people are homeless.
There's people can't eat. They're dying of starvation.
People that are literally dying of starvation, which is hard for me to understand.
That's it's insane.
It sounds. It's like I just don't understand starvation like that.
I'm not. I've never felt. I can't empathize in that.
Right. Exactly.
But I've been hungry before, but never to the point where I can't eat.
Exactly. And the main reason I'm hungry is because I didn't want to eat all that shit in my refrigerator that I had to cook.
It's like, because I left it there too long and it went bad.
Exactly. Or it's not ready to go. Yeah. Food. I'm not trying to cook.
I want it right now.
I'm like, oh, but that Taco Bell is too far. But I'm not trying to make my way across the street. Convenience
is first world problems.
And they are. And I think the whole that's the problem with the world. It's like the fact that the first world people, their problems have turned mental. But the thing with mental problems is that they can never stop if you don't actually work to fix within yourself, you know.
And nobody wants to do that because that works too hard.
Oh, I was just talking to someone about meditation earlier, and they were like, she was like, oh, I don't meditate. I close my eyes, and she's like, all these bad thoughts happen.
That's exactly why. That is meditation.
And that sums up everybody I've ever talked to.
Exactly.
Like, I don't do it because I have to deal with very negative feelings that I'm not trying to deal with.
That's exactly why you meditate.
Exactly.
You close your eyes to face those things and then deal with them internally. But what happens when people have that downtime, that quiet time, and those thoughts come up, then they run to the bar. They run to me. They'll pour me a shot of Jameson. I want to quiet that noise inside my head. More Jameson. More. Okay, now you shut up. We're good. We're drunk. I'm having a good time.
Smoking.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, smoking.
Any whatever it is. It could be YouTube videos. It could be anything.
Anything. Escapism. It's anything.
Totally.
It's and you know, I find myself personally, like, I used to spend most of my time focusing on other people, trying to fix it. Like, I was like trying to be a life coach for other people.
Yeah.
And I asked my friend years ago, I was like, oh, what do you think about me and like my life, you know, just getting her feedback. She's like, I think you focus too much on other people. And I was like, bitch, all the shit I've done for you and your ungrateful ass bitch. I was so upset by like her response. But when I thought about it, it was true. I was just, her problems seemed less complicated than my own personal problems. So I was just.
That's true.
It was like working on addition when like my problems felt like trigonometry. So I was like, oh, I can do your shit.
I can do this shit. This is cool. I can help you.
Yeah, you're dealing with like.
I think that's true too. I'm probably guilty of that myself in certain past times in my life. But even still, right now, I'm still not wanting to do what I need to do. I've been trying to meditate for a long time. Get up like a daily routine of getting up in the morning and starting to meditate or do yoga, and then go about my day. But I'm just like, I fight it, lazy.
Right, and it's all a priority. I think we prioritize emotionally, prioritize things over everything. You know, all this bullshit that doesn't mean that. You know, everyone quotes this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Which I read it. I was like, this shit ain't that great.
Yeah, I read it.
I was disappointed. I was like, where the fucking secrets at? Yeah. I was like, I came to my dad. I was like, I was like, I read the whole book. There ain't shit in here about Bill. They fucking pump this shit up. All these awards and shit. Nah, ain't secrets in here. I'm still broke. I can't even tell anyone any advice from this shit. But one thing he did say was that, he was talking about assets and liabilities. He said you have to learn what's the asset and what's the liability.
Right.
And that is the biggest thing, he said, is the takeaway from his book. And that's the takeaway from life. Is like, we put all these liabilities in, going to the bar, watching television, hanging out with people that aren't good for us, or investing our time in people who aren't going to return on our investments, And that's why we all stay emotionally poor and mentally poor and also, physically unhealthy because we're always trying to do things that don't invest in ourselves. So it's pretty much, I think you're a few years older than me, a couple decades, a
decade or more.
Decade and a half older than me. So
slow down, motherfucker. Decade and a half. God damn, it's 12 years.
I know, 12 years. 12 years a slave.
12 years. 12
years
of wisdom.
Yeah, 12 years and that's true though. You have you've experienced what I've never experienced. And
I tell you some stories, buddy.
Yeah, what you got? What you got? I always hear my stories.
I don't know, man. Well, let's say this. I used to be a very different person before I did my kind of I had a lot of let's rewind all the way back to
let's rewind.
Reason why I was cocky. I used to be a very big cocky dude because I swam growing up and I was the man. I was swimming in a predominantly it's a white sport. Yeah. And I'm the only black guy swimming and I'm very good.
The two of you, it's the Olympian.
He's in another state. I've dominated Connecticut.
Word?
Yeah. So I'm not saying like I dominated, like I was the Michael Phelps of Connecticut, but I was always in my events. I was at the top in my age group. For those critical years where like when you're like 9 to 14, where you're kind of identifying yourself. Yeah, that's when I was swimming, which is crucial. Anybody who has a kid should make sure they're doing something at those ages and hopefully excelling at it to gain. Just skills of being who you are. Fortunately for me, at those times in my life, I was the man at swimming. I was kind of like the center of my team because everybody looked up to me because I was fat. I was the best one and I was dominating practice. But I also developed this personality of comedy and this cockiness and bravado of because I knew that I could dominate anybody at any moment in my event. And I would be able to talk a lot of shit about it too. Which at the time was funny and cool, but it gave me this ability to snap, and if someone comes at me, I'm automatically gonna snap and step on your head hard enough to get a laugh from everybody to bring me back up above wherever you tried to bring me down to. Right. And I was extremely good at this, so I was kind of a dick in college and in high school, and then more in college. So I treated women really, really poorly, and not in college. Not to the point where I'm like, not to the point where I'm like, doing extremely bad things where I could have gone to jail for, but just not respecting others, just women in general. And so all through my college years that happened, and then even after college, I still had that kind of way. And then eventually, after I moved away from Boston and to Seattle, I did this long 3-year stint of yoga every single day, where I was literally, it was like my favorite thing. It was like going to church. That's what I called it. Yeah, that was my yoga. And during that time, those things that kept bubbling up in front of my face, because yoga is like a moving meditation. Once you get to a certain point in yoga, the thoughts and things come up because your mind is no longer fixated on the girl's butt in front of you. It's just it's internal. You're doing your thing. You're here. You're in the space. You're present.
Past that point yet.
Some people don't. I was doing hot yoga, and you get into this flight or fight mode where you're either gonna leave the room or you're gonna stay in the room and kind of. But after a while, all that external stuff kind of fades away, and that's what happened for me. And eventually, I started to look internally, and I realized that I was a bad person. So to clean my vehicle, oh man, my car's dirty, I gotta clean it up. Right. I went back and I literally flew back home and I apologized. I literally apologized to girlfriends and ex-girlfriends, not current, and sat him down. Hey, can we have lunch? Who are you? Like just people that I was like, hey, I'm sorry for what I said. And like, is this Nick Burke? Like, who are you? They didn't recognize me. But anyway, I kind of did that to everybody that I had felt like I had wronged, and felt way better after that. And then I kind of like, I kind of started a new section of my life where I looked at things differently. Like just things that happen to you in general. It's not about what happened. It's not about the act of someone stepping on your shoe or denting your car or, taking your whatever from you. It's how you react to that situation. So if you're just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh, you dent my car, man. You got to pay for this. I'm going to kick your car. No, man, what the fuck? Oh, why? No, okay, there was an accident. Or maybe you did it on purpose. Who cares? All right, I'm going to move forward from this and get it fixed or whatever, or you're going to get mad about it. Why does that event need to upset you to bring you into a lower state?
Right.
It's just an event. It's a thing. Who cares? It's just stuff. It's just people get too attached to stuff in this world and all the things and so that. So I kind of transcended above that a little bit. And I'm not saying that if someone dented my Jeep right now, I would be pissed.
Right. But blap. I was like, that was a term doesn't work.
You need to go back to yoga, Nick. So yeah. Anyway, long story short, I used to be a pretty different person. Let's say that. And now I look at things differently. So on that path through yoga, I was studying yoga, living it. I was dating a yoga teacher, and I learned a lot about myself, and I also learned a lot about a lot of other things. And I was constantly trying to learn about what yoga is all about. Really, the bottom line about yoga is a practice to calm the mind and prepare you to sit and meditate. So people think yoga is like, oh, I'm gonna go exercise and get fit, and I'm gonna lose all this weight doing hot yoga. No, yoga is a mental exercise. If you want to work out, go to the gym. Do high intensity exercise for an hour where you're running upstairs and getting your heart rate really high. If you want to expunge your brain and clear things out and get things right, face the things that come up in yoga every day.
Right. I agree 100%. I think it's the biggest problem with our revolution, our yoga revolution in the country is we're trying to substitute working out with hot yoga, and we're going to just sweat it out, and we're going to, and that is so much, it's so fake to me because we're taking this real culture and this really powerful thing, and we're like American Chinese food, just like.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, we're going to make some orange chicken, and we're going to, the real traditional herbs.
Yeah.
Of the,
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I see a lot. The yoga I have done, which is real, it's mainly like 50-year-old white women, like very young white, teaching. I'm not racist. I'm not against that at all. But I do question the tradition that comes with yoga. My past yoga instructor, he taught Kundalini yoga from this guy Yogi Bhajan, who created the form of yoga himself. So it was really authentic, and I left it with a deeper sense of self-reflection and spirituality, which I think is the purpose of yoga.
Totally.
Is sitting there and facing yourself. And I don't know. I think I naturally feel smarter than other people, which is I know it sounds narcissistic.
That does sound narcissistic, and
it is. But the majority of people I run into are not that intelligent to me.
Well, come on, hold on a second. Like intelligence, like
that's true. That's
like
true.
I'm not saying I feel the same way to a certain degree because I can understand what you're saying, but I don't ever put it like that. Like I'm smarter than somebody. I just see things differently.
I'm saying I feel smart. So it is an egotistical thing that I live with.
Why do you feel it? Because you think you know more things than another person?
It's not the collection of facts that I have. It's the articulation of those facts to answer everyday questions that I don't think people have the ability. So so just say that as a channel, so I have a pool of information, everyone does. They have this kind of pool of knowledge. And what they try to do, they have an idea or a feeling about something, but then they have to send it through this like water hose. On the other side comes, it comes out kind of different. It funnels differently than it originally was put in, and it kind of dilutes the idea.
Okay.
So I have an ability to paint a very vivid picture of my own ideas, put it through this funnel from my mind and make it sound very similar to how it was in my mind to how it is outwardly.
Okay.
So also I understand what, as people are trying to do that, as they're trying to funnel their ideas into words, I already get their point, and I often like finish the point for them.
I got it. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, so you're saying this and that. But often I step on people's toes in that way. Right. But one thing, the difference between me, I'd be much more of an asshole if during my 9 through 14, I was the lowest in my sport. Oh, I was the worst track player on the team.
But at least you were doing track. At least you were doing something.
I was the least valuable person on the team.
Nice.
I got last in every race I participated in.
Wow.
Except this one race.
Blue ribbons for you.
Where this guy said he wasn't trying on my team. he's like, I just wasn't trying. I was so happy I finally beat somebody. It's like, yeah. He's like, I wasn't really trying. I was like, oh, damn. I've always had the ability, and I'm glad I was humbled. I was humbled earlier by my experience. Yeah. I definitely had the ability to sing very well, public speak very well, and to capture a crowd's attention and to do things very well. But there were times, like I remember I sang in 5th grade, and it was actually Veterans Day, and I sung the song. My teacher chose me. She's like, oh, you're great at singing. I want you to sing this song with this girl in front of your whole school. So it was all 600 kids, and we're sitting in the middle. It's like a sea of kids, and I started singing, and my voice starts cracking. Oh. And it's like, man. Oh, and like my voice was naturally high when I was a kid. It's nothing like it is today. Yeah. So it was like, it sounded real bad hitting these high notes. Jeez. So the kids in each grade started laughing. Like they're just like cracking up. And like I look over and my dad's videotaping and he's laughing. Oh man. I look over for support and he's cracking. And so I don't think I ever sung again after that day. So a lot of my talents just were like left behind, faded because I just felt they weren't properly nurtured by my environment. So yeah, so that's pretty much how I became the person I am today. It's pretty much a number of humbling experiences and understanding like I wasn't as great as I thought I was originally. So
that's why it's so important to boost up kids and tell them you can do anything.
Right.
Which I really never thought was that important, honestly, just being honest. But if you look at, because I'm now being older, just looking back at kids, you're like, man, if you just told that kid you loved them and that they were, could do anything they wanted to, yada, 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 those words go so far.
Golden.
So far. I have a nephew that's, I think he's 14 now. I'm like, and he thinks I'm really cool. Like, he really thinks I'm really cool. So I always want to be like, just tell him, you can do whatever you want. Just follow your dreams. Like, always just figure out what you want and then just do it. Just do it. Keep doing it. Because some kids never have that. People pushing them.
Right. I agree. I agree 100%. One thing I also would tell kids is that you're going to fail in life.
Oh, failing is the best thing you could ever do.
It was the necessary part of success.
Totally.
It's the necessary part of success. And you're not actually failing as you are making prototypes for your success.
Yeah.
And that's what
you don't fail, you learn.
Right. And so when I hit rock bottom as a kid, I didn't realize that, I was going to hit several rock bottoms. I was like, man, this
sucks.
This sucks and I'm done. And this is ruined. This experience has ruined everything. So I quit things and I just was like done with them. And I think if my parents had just pushed me,
a little further.
Also, my parents were always trying to get me to do shit they wanted to do as a kid, like living vicariously through me. It's like, oh, you should play drums and you should play football. I tried football for like 3 weeks in my junior year, like going to my senior year. I got cracked running this practice play. The coach had to tell me to play 3 times before we ran it. So I didn't think he was going to throw me the ball because he obviously told the defense. So he I look over, I see he's throwing to me. I look over my left shoulder instead of my right. Instead of seeing the rest of the field, I'm like looking over at him, over my left shoulder. And the cornerback just, bow, hits me like full on. I wake up with people looking at me.
Damn.
And they're like, you all right? And I was like, yeah. I like hop up real fast. Like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I was looking at. I was like, "What? I can't do this shit. Fuck this shit." I'm like, quit. I was like, I 100% agree with Will Smith in that movie Concussion. That shit cannot be good for your brain.
I haven't seen the movie. Is the movie good? You saw it?
I ain't seen that shit either. I seen the trailer. I was like, this shit's right. It's right. Brain damage is real. I felt my brain bounce around and shit. Fuck that macho shit. Fuck that hopping back up, acting like everything. This shit ain't good. I don't know what the fuck are these pads for. Need those fucking bubble ball suits. That's what they need in football. Like, this shit ain't safe. This shit hurt. Those pads didn't help nothing. Oh man, my athletic career was horrible. Horrible. I was like the opposite of fucking, Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is a wonderful athletic career. He's athletic entertainment career.
Yeah.
My whole childhood went the opposite of Jamie Foxx. It was like I was outcasted. I was the worst at all the sports.
His grandmother told him all the time that he could do whatever he wanted, sings and football, all that stuff.
I said, I wish someone told me that.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Can't
Support,
do shit
man.
now.
You got other talents, man. Come on, you're not just some washed up anything.
Oh no. I definitely think I think we all have talents.
Totally.
That's the thing. I feel like I'm highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Compared to like, that's why I hang out with such old people.
Call me old.
No, I'm just saying like my closest friends are in their 30s.
Yeah.
Because I just relate to people like that. Obviously, I have some lessons that I don't learn, and that there's a gap between experience and relationships.
Right.
But as far as concepts go and what I'm thinking about, like they're having their midlife crisis. I'm also having my midlife. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to get my life together. Like, I'm almost 30.
You're 23, dude. You have so many mistakes. Actually, it's good that you have your head that way because now you can attack and make a lot of mistakes.
Right. So I know I have room. My friends,
no mistakes, so just learning events.
Learning events, and my friends always like, he's like, yeah, you need to go back to school and this and that. And I was like, well, I'm gonna try it my way, and I still, since you're 7 years older than me, if I fail, I can still just hop back to school at the same time your ass is on. Still start from scratch,
I say go to school if you have the right opportunity and it's the right space to go to college, because college is a safe environment to do a lot of learning, and you get an education, and that piece of paper is worth something in society. But when it really comes down to it, just do it. Whatever you want to do, if you know what you want to do, just do it.
Right.
If you want to be a comedian, start doing it. If you want to be a programmer, start writing code. Go start an app. If you want to prototype XYZ, you want to be a lawn care, whatever. I don't know, whatever you love, just do it.
But I think a key concept is it's not that people aren't doing the things they love to do. It's that they don't know what they love to do. That's the thing. For me, it's like I would have done it a long time ago. I've also thought about being a comedian, but it's like, I'm like, what is comedy? What is comedy to me?
Comedy is a great outlet to let people release.
Comedy is just my passive aggressiveness. It's me saying I fucking hate that person on stage because I ain't saying when I seen him last.
But at that in the bigger picture of the whole cog, you're a small piece of a bigger thing that lets people get away for that moment and laugh at that moment that they also had, that you're articulating because you have that idea on one piece of the fire hose and you articulated correctly.
Right.
And now you drew that nice picture for them to actually have a moment where they can
Yeah.
Laughter is key, man. Laughter is huge, along with, that connection of people.
For real. And that's the thing I feel from, I laugh. I laugh because I want to cry. That's usually what I'm laughing about. I'm laughing because things are sad.
Really? Wow.
I laugh because things were rough for me. Like I used to be in high school. My dad was real rough. We went through this custody battle. It was rough on him.
Damn.
By the end of it, he no longer liked me. It's like if you'd ever seen the movie Troy. It's like if he got that bitch back and he was like, he's like, yeah, this is annoying, bitch. I don't know what I raised this one for. That's how I felt with
wow.
It's like he already went through all this emotional drama to get me back.
Yeah.
Lost all this money and time and effort, so he didn't want to just give up. But he's secretly giving up on me soon after he won the custody back.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, I just don't love you anymore. I was like,
He never said that to you, dude.
hell yeah. I said it like several times. I was like, that's rough, dog.
Ugh, Jesus.
I know, right? I know.
It's hard.
It's hard. And I want to cry about it. But I'd be at school. I'm like, and then he told me he didn't love me. And then we'd be like laughing. I'm like,
Wow. Oh, man.
It was always just like,
Oh, man.
it was always this feeling like laughing it off. So
Yeah,
like, it was real for me, but just like a comical illusion for my friends. So that's always how laughter's been for me. It's like, well, this shit's fucked up.
Can't do well. Again, going back to just the event happens and it's how you react to it. If you can laugh at it, it is not the right way to deal with it, I guess. But
No, I didn't do a lot of shit. I'm like, then he punched me.
not funny.
I tell you the time. My dad thought I was smoking weed.
No, I've never heard that.
So my dad, for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if he just like smoked once and that like flipped out or something. But he was 100% anti-weed. Like really? He is against smoking weed. He's like, so first time I had a real bad night going to this basketball game. My friend was like the star basketball player at my school, and so I went to go see him play. But I usually go into the JV game, so I didn't have to pay for the full game price.
Okay.
So I sit
just
there.
Stay there.
But one time they were like, "Oh, you got to pay," and he didn't give me any money. I didn't have any money, so I had to catch the bus home. And I went to catch the bus home, and on the corner, the bus driver seen me, and I knocked on the door, but he just kept rolling. So he rolled, and the bus, that was like the last bus that night, so I have to walk like 2 or 3 miles home.
Damn.
So I go to my closest friend's house and ask him for some change, and he like flipped on me. He was like, oh, you acting like a fag. So he's a weird dude. So he had like emotional reaction. He said I was being too friendly with him or something. He flipped on me. He's like, get off my lawn. I was like, oh man, this is a real rough night. So I go to my other friend's house, nearly in tears. So like, I was like, his brother answers, I was like, yo man, just see this home. I just need to borrow like $4 to go get in this game. And he's like, I don't got any money. And I was like, oh. I almost broke out in tears. He's like, all right, pull out this watch, like $300, and like gives me $4. This motherfucker. So I walk over, go to the game. I watch the game, and my dad picks me up, and he's like, I tell him all the stuff. And I was like, get home. He's like, have you been smoking? I was like, no, I haven't been smoking. He's like, yeah, you have. So he grabs me up by my neck, like tosses me over. He's like wrestling me down. What? Yeah, right. He's like sitting on my head with his knee in like the crevice of the hallway, and he like creates this long scar from like this bruise from like my eye down to my like side of my face, right, down to my chin. I ain't even smoked weed that night. Wow. So it was just a horrible night. My night just couldn't have gotten anywhere. Man. Right.
That's crazy.
So, and then he grounded me. And they gonna laugh the next day. He was like, oh, when you smile, it makes like the line makes this kind of, I was like, fuck.
That's fucked.
But that's how my dad is. He was like some fucking shit would happen to me. He make a joke about it like it was all good, just to lighten the tension. Like, this shit's fucked up.
That's so not cool.
Second time, he took me to the police station when he thought I was high. Yeah, I swear to God, he took me to the
Were you high?
No, I never smoked in my life before.
Damn.
I actually was anti-weed too because my mom smoked and I didn't like the way she was when she smoked.
Yeah.
Weed. So I was really anti-weed already. So I was like mad he accused me, but he took me to the police station.
Damn.
I was like, oh, he's gonna feel so crunchy when she tells him.
Crunchy.
And she like looked me in the eyes. She's like, yeah, he's been smoking. I was like,
oh my God.
What? What? So I get grounded for 3 weeks. Never smoked in my life.
Damn, man.
But I did start smoking right after that occasion. I was like, well, mine is getting
in trouble for it.
My ass whooped. I'm going to see what all the fuss is about in this motherfucker. My ass became an avid pothead, and that was his fault. Like, you turned me to drugs. I learned
it from getting my knee in my head.
Exactly. I was like, I'm getting all my weeds worked for this shit. So.
That's crazy.
No, man, it's rough. And parents try their best. I'm not even gonna act like my dad's a bad dude.
Yeah,
it's like his father wasn't in his life, but so it's all trial and error for parents.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to have a kid, man.
I think you'd be a great dad. I mean,
I think so too, but it's scary. It's like, yo, I don't know what to do. This kid's like, even the little stuff though, like the 0 to damn. I guess you be crying and all that other stuff. You figure it out. Read a book. Too many people have been through it, but it's still.
I just give me a cat and a dog.
All the response. I'm down with 2 dogs. Yo, I'm good right now. But I guarantee Chrissy will want to have a kid at some point.
I'll just have him babysit. Just give him like a little like German Shepherds. Have him like watch the baby all the time. Give him that comfort he needs. You see those YouTube? You see those like all those videos and pictures of, like the dog cuddling up
in the crib.
Exactly. So just give me a dog, have him be my part-time babysitter, so it's all good. But it's real, man. Having a kid's stressful.
It's a high responsibility, and you have to give up. You have to give up everything.
That's it. That's the thing for me.
It's the most selfless act you'll ever do in your life.
Well, shit. Tell my mama her husband was kicking it. Her husband pawned me off. My grandma and shit. So that's what we see a lot of is like daycare mothers, daycare like babysitting mothers who always are dropping their kids off other people,
right? Like
hot potato or some shit. Like
it's crazy.
It is. Or they have TV like raising a kid.
Oh man, that's the worst too.
Yeah, that's what I think happened to me was I just was sat in front of a TV. That's why my mind probably moves a lot faster than I can actually understand. I'm like and if you guys is talking to me. Like, if you don't seem like a movie to me, I'll probably like tune out. I'll tune your ass out. I could be staring right in someone's eyes.
You're not entertaining. You're not entertaining enough for me, sir.
If you ain't got a laugh track in the background, my ass is tuning you the fuck out.
I need to laugh every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Or, sitcom style.
Yeah, and that's how it is. I think we're going to see kids are going to be different. The generation after mine and the next generation after technologies.
Now you got iPads, little games.
Oh, they're just giving kids iPads and shit. My sister has a laptop. I didn't get my cell phone until I was like 17.
The amount of stuff that is available on the internet, though,
right?
Is just like,
right. Like I think when we talking about like, I think on one of our first talks we were talking about like sex. I didn't start like sexual like activity with myself till I was like 16. And that's also a testament to our society. It's like we don't even inform our children.
Nobody talks about that.
Masturbation was a myth up until 16.
A myth.
And I was like playing with myself like casually in my room. I was like, oh shit! like it was like shock. Like, it was shocking. I like looked around. I was like, what the hell am I? But it was just all like, that's a damn shame. Like I was just left to my own devices.
Took you 16 years to figure this shit out. God damn.
Exactly. So people let the kids learn sex from the world.
Yeah. And
you don't want your kids learning shit from the world. The world is a cold, depressing place.
Yes.
Yeah. And man, when I found internet porn, it was game over. That shit was. I am like they say it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. If I have to search up a quality porno, I am the man for the job. If you hire me to find the right type of shit you want to watch, I'd be in there like, okay, short hair, Asian, Filipino.
I got you.
BBC, 10, not 12 inches.
That's so funny, yo. Porn is a crazy.
It's crazy, though.
There's too many categories. Anyway,
it's a lot of stuff. But my point is we gotta watch our kids more. I don't think my kids should be watching porn. I'm be firm advocate against it personally.
Well, obviously your kids shouldn't be watching porn. When do you like say okay, it's cool to watch porn? 18, 16? Like,
well, I mean, it's the scope. Like
it's gonna be you're gonna get it at some point.
But this comedian said something, and it really hit me. He's like, when your ass is masturbating to granny porn, you gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? And I just hit that category. Like I hit all these categories.
I just hit that category.
I was like, he's right. I've hit a new one.
I've hit a new low.
Oh shit! No, it's real.
I need something else. This is Granny important.
This Granny.
Ooh, she look good.
This Granny gangbang.
I don't know what it is about this Granny. Damn.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think overall, it just creates this illusion of sex. It creates this like capacity. It's like, what is that doing to us? Like, you know, it's like you usually only sleep with like one or two. I don't know how many people our ancestors would sleep with, but just imagine being able to see sex of thousands of different kind of women, and like I'm looking at like 30 different women in like an hour or something like that. It's like my whole standards are up now. Like my standards are, I've never even had sex. My standards are already high. I was like, you ugly bitch.
But it also creates a narrative of how men are talking to women. Right. Which is insane because the things they say it's super entertaining.
Yes.
Whoa. Pause. I want to
I
say
was
it's
like,
super entertaining. It's for some people, I'm not gonna lie, it's entertaining to some people. It's entertaining to me sometimes the way that these guys talk to these women, and it's funny only when you know what the context is,
right? Or what what they're doing.
Introduced to sex in a way that you're supposed to talk to women this way during sex. This is the way you talk to women. That's crazy. It's absolutely insane. You're not supposed to slap somebody around, tell them suck. Like, it's crazy.
Shut up. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, that's the thing. It's so funny to see how the difference between white porn stars and black porn stars, how they talk to women.
Oh my god,
it's
way
bad.
different.
And black dudes just sound so smooth. It's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, you struck that dick, baby. Just get on. And it's like it's so different. Like, yeah, bitch, suck it. And it's like I'm like, damn, dog.
So aggressive.
He just like you hate women. You just have like a vendetta against, you know. And I think that's what our children are learning, and that's the narrative that is going on. That I think we need to step up on.
But that even if you don't let. It's not porn. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's video games.
All types of.
It's all that like Ghost Recon, fucking the guns and shooting and all that. Like it's like like WWE versus like fighting in real life. That's what we're creating. We're creating an illusional world. And even with social media, it's like we create all these fake personalities. Everybody's doing everything for likes,
and it's so cool. I'm taking all these pictures to show what I'm doing, and this is the lifestyle I live. I don't take pictures of your ass crying. It's
fake. Yeah, right. Depressed.
Yeah. I'm depressed. I'm crying.
Actually, some people do that.
But that's against the grain. But then how you think about that person compared to all the rest of
how many likes do I get on my depressed pic?
I like it too. I like it just because I like people shit who don't have likes. Like if you don't have one like, I see the value in being that one nigga that likes your shit. Like that's like he's like. I had some dude like go on all my pictures and like every single one after I liked the comment. No one else liked. He was like, so he clicked on my name, looked at my pictures, and did all this only because I clicked one button.
And
that's how much it meant to him.
Wow.
Was like this is a big deal to me.
Wow.
And that's how. And so I see the value in giving likes to people that don't have likes on the comments, even if they say some weird shit. I'm like, I like that. But to them, they're like, he loves this shit. He's eating this shit up. Yeah. So that's what that means. This is the kind of world we live in.
That's weird.
I don't know what kids are gonna look like. They're gonna be like fucking Paris Hilton kids who just living their life in this kind of
this Instagram zone where you're just like
Snapchat, Twitter.
Why nobody needs to know about your life that much? Like
they really don't. But I think maybe the government on some like 1984 shit. It's like
if you want to go deep on that, we can go deep. But no,
not tonight.
We're already deep in. We're about an hour and a half. So let's.
We're an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up right now.
Oh, let's wrap it up.
I don't want to go over an hour and a half.
I can't say I've ever done that before.
But and on that note. Mr. Scotty P, aka Scotty Walker, it's been great talking to you.
Check out my Instagram.
Oh yeah, how do we? So if anybody really wants to get to know more about the sick and twisted ways of your mind, how do we find you?
My sending smoke signals out 8:30 Monday nights. Now I'll be posting my stuff sooner or later. I mean, I'm not really.
What's the handle? Like, how do we find you on Twitter? How do we find you on?
I haven't structured any of that. I mean, I've done a couple.
You have no Facebook.
Things.
You have nothing.
No, I'm not out there like that. You know.
You had so nobody can find you on social media anywhere.
I'm taking the Dave Chappelle approach, which is to be as hidden as possible.
That's crazy. This is your first media experience, then,
Yeah,
right?
I fear fame. I'm trying to be Sasquatch. I'm being Sasquatch too. I'm trying to not be up. I don't want people following me. I'm already paranoid. I don't want people looking at me.
Nobody knows anything about you.
Exactly. And that's how I want to stay. I want to get off stage at a comedy show and disappear.
Wow.
Like, I just want to, like,
All right.
disappear. So
Well,
I'll be posting stuff soon.
let's say this. You might see, you might see Scotty on the NBZ show again. Let's say that.
Right.
We might do some more work.
So check us out. NBZ.
All right, word.
Table 13. Hashtag.
Well, I think I'm gonna keep this. I think I'm gonna keep the NBZ show just my show.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Table 13 might exist, maybe or maybe not.
Whatever.
But anyway, all right. And thanks for listening. And I appreciate you spending the time. And you don't need to give me a like or anything like that. Just keep listening. Thanks.